guys, welcome to Actually Adultish, your favorite podcast in the whole wide world. I'm Christina, one of your co-hosts.
I'm Kaylin, one of your other co-hosts.
And I'm Janina, one of your other co-hosts. We just want to say thank you so much to all of our subscribers and everyone who submitted questions. Please keep spreading the word and tell your friends how much you like hanging out with us because it really helps us a lot. If you'd like to submit any questions or comments or topics or stories, you can email us at actuallyadultish@gmail.com. You can visit our website at actuallyadultish.com, or you can tweet us at actuallyadult. Also, we have a Facebook page where we frequently have updates, so make sure to like that. And also make sure to subscribe on iTunes and Stitcher. And please leave us a review. That also really helps a lot.
Yeah,
Thanks,
rating
guys.
and review. A rating literally takes 1 second. You just click stars. So you should do it because we would really like
5 stars.
Yeah, just only 5. Only 5. No.
We love seeing stars in
Any
our future.
stars will do. No, but seriously, feedback is really important. I mean, a lot of people have been texting me giving feedback, but we want to hear from people that also don't know us personally, and we've been getting some, but we want more. More is always better. We want to know what you guys want us to talk about. So today we're going to talk about dependence. Dependence. Yeah. There's a lot of directions we could go with this. And we got a lot of questions for this one.
It's exciting.
People like this one.
Yeah.
So we're just going to get going. We're just going to kick it off with some cues. So, Kaylin, do you want to read the first one?
Sure. Okay, so this is from Jen. Thanks, Jen. Going off of the dependent people topic, I have a friend who needs my opinion and advice on absolutely everything she does. She needs approval on her makeup, hair, outfits, and everything in between. I love her, but she even asked me what I'm having for dinner and needs approval on what she should have. How do I nicely tell her I don't care?
Aw.
The age-old question.
You're like her mommy.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well,
Maybe this is like a sit-down conversation. Like, you could be like, the next time she asks, you could be, do you think that she should joke around and kind of play it off like as a joke? Like, do you need to ask me for every, like,
sometimes that can be easier.
Yeah. It depends on the personality of the person, but
Yeah.
But they may not get the hint at the same time.
Yeah, I
He
think
seems really clingy.
yeah, that would drive me insane. I think like Kaylin said, it depends on the kind of person she is, what you think she would best respond to. Some people respond best to when you're just really straightforward and you say, I don't care. And you kind of have to be blunt.
yeah,
and
like
rude about
Christina, I don't care what you're having for dinner.
it. Exactly.
Wow.
That would work for me.
But then there's people who would take humor better. Like,
Yeah.
do I need to tell you need to eat this for dinner?
Yeah.
Like, why?
Yeah, if she's sensitive, you might want to go the humor route. I think that, it's hard because we don't have control. You can't control somebody else's insecurities, and she seems very insecure based off of all of this information you're giving us.
So maybe also you could compliment her on things instead of her asking all the time, does this look okay? Because she's probably super insecure about what she's wearing, what her makeup looks like.
Yeah.
I don't know, offer her a compliment a day.
Yeah, and just nicely saying you don't care. Also, you can kind of turn around on her and be like, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Or like, like if she says, should I wear this outfit or this outfit? Just say like, oh, I think you should wear whatever you're most comfortable in. And then leave the room.
Yeah.
End of story.
Yeah.
Like,
Leave. Bye.
it's done.
But I also think it depends how close you are with somebody. If this was my really close friend, I would probably sit her down and say, hey, you asked for my approval on pretty much anything, pretty much everything. I feel as though we need to kind of, like, what's going on? Like,
yeah.
How can we make you more comfortable in your
why
own
do you
skin?
feel
and
that
making
way?
decisions?
Like, try and help her actually get to the root of those issues, because that's a deep-rooted issue if you're really that insecure to need to get approval on every single thing.
Yeah. Try to uplift her as a friend.
Yeah. And so if you're close enough, I think it's like, try and have that heart to heart and help her get out of that so she doesn't need somebody else's approval. And I also wonder if she's like this with just you or with other people too, because that's kind of two different stories. Some people are like that with everybody. They ask everybody for their approval, but if she's just targeting you, she might be like
super comfortable with you,
or like she might just really admire you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's true.
Like this wouldn't be weird to me if you guys were like BFFs. Like I would ask everything, not because necessarily like I don't know, but I want a second opinion.
Yeah.
But since you want to tell her you don't care, I would guess that's probably not necessarily the
It's just
situation.
also annoying that it's everything, including her dinner. Like, I don't know.
I feel like if it's, when you're saying, like, as I'm reading this again, if it's everything, I would get really annoyed. And honestly, I would just say, I don't care.
Yeah, just say what you feel.
It's whatever you want, so-and-so.
Why do you need my approval?
Yeah.
Why do you care? Honestly, like
I don't care what you have. Why don't you have what you want?
that might be bad advice, though, because I feel like, well, Kaylin and I are super blunt people, and that's our natural response. You probably have
Like if I was like, Christina, what's time for dinner? She was like, I don't care, whatever you want. I'd be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm with Jen a little bit. Like, I probably would get really stuck in it, but I would go the joking route, because I have trouble being like straightforward
It's
sometimes.
easier. It's more passive.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just joke around and be like,
You don't have to ask me for everything.
But if you're the type of person who is blunt, just go for it. Like, if you're not going to tell her, somebody else will, but it's better coming from you because you guys seem like you're close friends.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's a tough one.
Okay.
It's all dependent on the type of person that she is and what your guys' relationship is and how you are. Because if you're normally a blunt person, it's not going to be weird coming from you.
Yeah. But also, if this girl is super sensitive and really insecure, you also want to tread lightly, because you don't want to hurt her feelings even. Like, if she's already really insecure and she's trying to get approval about what she is, like what she's doing,
you don't want to like scare her.
And then you say something really blunt. It could make her feel like shit, and then she could be afraid to kind of ever. It might make her afraid to ever ask you anything ever again.
Yeah.
You know, when in reality you just like want her to tone it down a little bit.
Yeah.
It might make her just super self-conscious about talking to you.
Yeah.
So I think, like we said before, it depends on her personality and yours.
And I think the middle ground that's always just a safe fallback for any situation is like, oh, like, well, which one's more comfortable if it's close, or like whatever you want, or
like just be like, I really like your style, without her asking like, what should I wear, because she already has a good style on her own, and then she'll feel a bit better about herself.
What do you guys think about the whole kind of like having a conversation to this girl about her but pretending it's not her? So do you know what I'm saying?
Oh my god, I have a friend and all she does is ask me.
Like
That might be a little obvious, though.
Is it though?
Oh yeah, because maybe she doesn't know that she's doing it.
Yeah, because I'm wondering if she even realizes she does it, and then if you kind of complained about it to her,
and then she might later she's like,
wait a minute,
wait, I do that.
Yeah.
And like, oh,
and then that
I should
kind
stop.
of yeah, because that kind of puts her on the spot without putting her on the spot.
Wait, no.
That happens to me sometimes. Like, people will be like, oh, this is so annoying, and I'm like, I do that.
Oh yeah, that happens to me too.
I'm gonna
and then I
watch
try
that
and stop.
now. Yeah, and I don't. It's not a big deal. It's just like,
No, that's
I
actually
didn't
really
think about
good.
it.
It's kind of it's a sneaky tactic, but I think it's useful in
It's
certain
effective.
situations.
Yeah.
Well, I've done it before.
Oh, I've done it before too.
Depending
I've
on
done
situation.
it last year.
That one time last year.
No. Last,
Like all the
years
time.
ago when I had a roommate and I was just like talking on the phone. I was complaining about someone. I was like, she did what? She did that? Oh my gosh. And I was naming all these specific things, and she was like looking at me like, and
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
it stopped. I was like, thank you.
Stopped.
Yeah, see, that's another.
I just made it super dramatic. I was like, my roommates would never do that.
Yeah.
That's actually a good tactic if you want to be a little more passive, sneaky about it.
be super.
You're a good actress. Do it.
I think that's actually good.
All right. Thanks so much, Jen. That was a great question.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so
Next question.
next question is from Leanne.
That's a cool way to spell Leanne.
So she says, Hey girl, so I have this roommate and she has a boyfriend. They've been together off and on for about 3 years now. They continuously break up and get back together. It's the same god-awful cycle over and over again.
I love that.
It's so predictable, it's almost laughable. They get together, have a fight, cheat on each other, break up, miss each other, start texting again, get dinner but say they're just staying friends, hook up, and then get back together again. She has had a boyfriend basically since she was like 12 years old, and she can't stand to spend more than like 3 days single. If she's not with this guy, she's flirting with other guys, hooking up, or searching for guys on Tinder. If that isn't dependent, I don't know what is. Please give me your thoughts on the situation. I would love to hear what you all have to say.
You know what this reminds me of? Packaged food. It's artificial and toxic. It's just surface level, superficial.
That comparison.
Oh, wow, that was probably the greatest metaphor I've ever heard. That was super deep.
I'm like, where is she going with this?
Man, your
okay.
friend.
I mean, this is such a common cycle.
Yeah.
I feel
Toxic
this is
cycle.
50% of college girls. No offense, guys,
Yeah.
but I'm serious.
No.
That would annoy the shit out of me.
This
Yeah.
one's even more problematic too because they cheat on each other. It's not even like they are together and they have a fight over something and break up. It's
Yeah.
like they're doing something very active to destroy it.
There's something at the root of their relationship that keeps them coming back for more, and it's probably the sex.
Well, yeah, but
It's always the
this
sex.
is just so sad. It's just so sad because why are you getting back together with somebody who's cheating on you? You know, she's right. Like, this is the definition of dependence. People
She can't stand on her own 2 feet. She's had a boyfriend since she was like 12 years old. And I mean, how do you go from that?
I feel like she's been with him for so long that she feels a certain comfort with him and can turn to him and he's been in her life for so long that it's so unfamiliar. It's unfamiliar territory to not have him in her life. And that's like where you have to stand. Are you going to break the cycle, or are you going to keep going back? It's just going to be it's like a recurring theme in relationships.
Yeah.
And it's unhealthy. It's very unhealthy.
Yeah. No, I think the comfort thing is something really important to address, I think. Like, this applies to a lot of things in life. When we're comfortable, it's easy just to stay in that situation even when it's bad, you know?
Right.
Exactly.
It's hard to break out of that situation. And comfortable you're not going to grow unless you break out of your comfort zone.
No.
In relationships or anything else, you know? And I mean, you can't be dependent on somebody else for your happiness.
Absolutely not. You can't put anyone in charge of your emotions.
Yeah. I don't like this. What I want to know is, why are you friends with this girl? That's what I want to know. I'm serious.
I would say something.
What would you say?
Well, if I was Leanne, I would tell her, why do you keep getting back with him? What about him is so appealing? Are you going to marry him? Is this the guy? Why?
Yeah.
Why? What's the point? He keeps cheating on you. You keep cheating on him. Why are you doing this? And she has no answer. I mean, her subconscious answer is, I can't be alone.
What if she says, I love him so much, blah, blah,
that
know?
sucks. It's going to suck for you to break up with him, but you will find someone else.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, what do you do when, like, you have a friend like this who's fucking delusional and keeps getting back together with this guy cheating on him, and you're just, you know, and she's in denial and she's, I love him, blah, 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 like, and you can't get through to her.
Ultimately, it's her decision. If she wants to live her entire life like this,
Yeah.
she can, but I would still say something, because sometimes people are in it and they don't really realize it. Like, they might even be the type of person to talk shit on other people, like, oh, I can't believe they're staying with him, like, I would, you know, and at the same time they're doing it.
Yeah.
And I think most of us are guilty of that at some point.
Yeah.
It's like deep-rooted issues of insecurity because they're so dependent on each other. There's something missing that from their life that they think the other person has in charge. Like, let's say her friend hooks up with a guy, but then the next morning he leaves her. So she goes back to her other boyfriend who's always there. He's just constantly always there. She needs to make herself not available to him. Yeah. That's what she needs to do.
And this is going to suck. It's not easy. It's easy for us to be like, just stop. Just stop doing it.
Yeah.
But it's going to hurt. It's going to suck. And for a while, it's going to feel unbearable. But if you get past that initial wave of, oh my God, I can't do this, I need to be with him, you will like look back on this and realize what a great decision it was.
Yeah.
But you can't think clearly in the moment. You just can't do it.
This will last a decade more if you keep doing it.
Literally.
So, Leanne, we're saying to warn her with the advice we're giving you, but you, at the end of the day, you can't make the decision for her.
People can be stupid. They're allowed.
Yeah, I mean, if I was Leanne, I would tell her what's up. I'd tell her, stop getting back together with this guy. And if she still wasn't listening to me, honestly, I'd probably not hang out with her anymore because people like that annoy the shit out of me. But if you're really invested in this friendship, then I think something else that you could do is try and show her that she doesn't have to depend on him to be happy. Like, go out of your way to hang out with her more and like do fun things and get her to see, you know, go on a weekend trip, like a girls trip, and like get her to see that she can have a great time without him.
Help her like explore her interests and like what she wants to do, not like as a couple what all of her goals are.
Build her backbone again, because she definitely needs that. She's sharing it with her other boyfriend. So
yeah, I think there's so much power in leading by example, and if you're the kind of girl who's really independent, like help your friends and, you know, like kind of show off your independence. I feel like
I agree.
Like show other girls that you don't need to be, they don't need somebody else.
And like if one of my really independent friends, like if Christina came to me and said like, I think you're in a toxic relationship, and told me like why, that I wouldn't just be like, I know better than her. I'd be like, well shit, Christina thinks that this is bad. I need to like look at this and think about this for a second. So like if you guys are close, she'll probably really take what you're saying to heart, because if one of my best friends told me something like that, like I wouldn't just be like, oh yeah, she doesn't know my relationship.
I mean, that also teaches you a lot about your relationship. If she's in this cycle over and over again and you're telling her over and over again, break up with him, like stop doing this, and she doesn't value your opinion, I don't like that. Like I don't like that. Like that to me is, she's not being a good friend. She's just hoes over bros, man. I mean, that just speaks to it. If she doesn't value your opinion, then that's just, I just think that's like disrespectful, and it's hard to be around.
No, yeah, because she's choosing her boyfriend who they clearly have a very bad, like uneven, dependent relationship over someone like a friend who's offering
been through it all.
Yeah. And stability.
Yeah. She's lucky you're still her friend.
Yeah. Trying to help.
Yeah.
And she continually chooses this instead. So it just says something about her.
Yeah. Agreed. All right. Next one.
Okay, this one's from Cass. She says, hey ladies, it's hard for me to admit it, but I think I'm very dependent on other people. I can't go anywhere alone. I always have to have someone with me, whether it's going to the grocery store, walking to class, or running errands. If I don't have someone with me, I get major anxiety while I'm going to a place alone, or don't go until I have someone to go with. I don't want to be like this forever. Help. Cass.
I love this question.
This is so honest. Thanks for being so honest. Like, I feel like everyone has dealt with this at some point in their life.
Yes.
Even the most independent people like us, like,
this was me freshman year of college. Like the first times that I had to do things like on my own, this was me like, oh my God, how do I go outside by myself?
Because we're always so used to being with people. Like in high school, you're always used to sitting with, you know, your group of friends at lunch. And then at the dining halls, it's like not everyone's on the same schedule. So you have to find time to just eat by yourself. And that's...
Doing that for the first time is like a struggle.
It's scary.
You're like,
yeah, it's scary.
Do you think, am I weird? Like, what's happening?
Am I like,
yeah.
But you have to get over it. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry, but you have to get over it. Like, it's like the only person... Like, what is it about walking alone? Is it because you feel alone? Because, like, you know, you can listen to us while you're walking and you won't feel as alone. But is it... Like, just, it's only you.
There are different things that have helped me kind of get over things like this. Like, because I get the anxiety over, like, doing things, like, alone. Or for something new that you haven't done for the first time, doing it alone is, like, stressful. Like, even going to the grocery store for the first time alone is, like, it seems, okay, that's stupid. Why would you care? But that's an independent thing. Like, you're turning into, I mean, college, this is the whole point of this podcast, is like, this is how you transition into being an adult. And you've got to do all these things once, and you're going to feel awkward, and you're going to feel alone, like running errands or walking to class alone or eating alone, things like that. And do it that one time and look around you and realize there are tons of other people doing the exact same thing.
Okay, but this is the thing. There's a difference between not being feeling weird about doing something alone for the first time, like going to the grocery store for the first time by yourself, or going to a class the first time by yourself, versus if you just are the type of person who just can never be alone. I think that's a huge problem. And I think that, like, I get doing something you've never done before by yourself can be intimidating, but if it's just an everyday thing and you can't do that by yourself, I think that's a really big problem. And I think you need to like look deep inside yourself and figure that out, because I think people are afraid to I feel like if you're not okay with being alone, you're not okay with yourself. Like deep down, you know? Why are you not afraid of being with your own thoughts?
It takes practice, obviously, because like once you, like, if you're going to go to the gym by yourself, once you go like all the time, you've established like a familiarity with that environment, and you're able to do it all the time. You're able to go all the time alone. So it takes practice. You should just start doing it now.
Yeah. I mean, you have to.
There's no easy way out of it. You just have to go alone, and you can't put your life on hold because you want an escort around.
I mean, do you guys have friends who just are never alone?
Not
who just
anymore.
Don't do anything by themselves?
Like this. I've only seen this during freshman year when like people had to eat together at dining halls, and that was the only time. But I feel like everyone's like evolved because you have to. You either evolve or you stay behind, and then you don't live your life the way you want it to.
What about you?
No, not really. I don't know anyone who would be like afraid to go out by themselves. But I mean, like this, like saying like I can't go anywhere alone and I have anxiety going to a place alone, or I don't go until I have someone to go with, is different than being like, I don't want to be alone in my apartment. I don't want to like do things. Like I don't want to study alone. I don't want to like, do you know what I mean? Like be doing casual things.
Oh yeah, that's
alone.
Cool. But this is like, she says she's always like
I think it's weird to not be able to go run errands by yourself.
Yeah.
I think that's really weird. And I know people who are my age, I know people who are older than me who can't be alone. And I think it's really sad and like makes me nervous, because I mean, I don't know how to explain, like, it's just weird to me that you can't be by yourself for 5 seconds. So are you really not okay with keeping yourself company for a few minutes, you know?
It's nice to be alone.
Yeah.
If you can't enjoy yourself, then you can't have anyone enjoy yourself with you.
Yeah, I know. And that's why it's hard. It's really hard for me to relate to when people, I mean, I'm so the opposite, because I really like being by myself. I usually prefer that more than other people. But besides you guys, don't worry.
Okay.
But no,
I believe it.
You know, so I don't know, but I know people who they'll be hanging out with somebody and then that person has to leave, and then 30 seconds later they can't be by themselves, so they're just calling everybody. Nobody can hang out. Nobody's free. What am I gonna do? I'm crying.
Gosh, what do you do?
Like,
I mean, I have nothing. I have no like beating around the bush advice, but to do it.
Yeah.
Just go to the store by yourself. Sometimes if you're having anxiety, it helps to really picture people naked. Picture people picture people at their most vulnerable state, and then you won't be nervous anymore. Okay? Okay, cool. Thanks, Cass.
I don't know if that's
Okay. But okay, I'm gonna go against the grain here, because I get this, because I hate going and doing things alone, like out in public, but not because I'm scared. It's because I hate people. I hate people. I hate going to the grocery store. I hate running errands because I hate everyone else. And so if I have someone there with me to like distract me from the fact that I'm in a grocery store with 100 other people that I like hate, then I'm like good.
Oh my God.
And that isn't to say that like I'm scared to do it alone. Like I do it all the time. I don't like it, and you might not like it either, but you have to get over it.
Yeah.
You just have to do it.
It's funny because
speaking to that, no, that's why I'm saying I think it's important to sit there and try and figure out why is this giving you anxiety. You know,
because then the advice is going to be very different.
It's different, because if it's like what Kaylin said, where you just hate everybody else and you don't want to be there, that's different than you're just really not okay with like being in your own head and listening to your own thoughts because you're not secure with yourself.
I do that all
those
the
are
time. Sometimes I hear
two
voices.
totally different
just
things.
kidding. So I was actually just talking to my friend about this because
God.
he was like, I love walking down Bruin Walk. First of all, I looked at him and I
Ew,
said,
who
who likes
Why?
walking down Bruin Walk
I've
after
never
freshman
heard
year?
that
No,
in my whole life.
after my first quarter at UCLA, I was just overwhelmed with like the flyers in my face and then the walking backwards to get my attention. Like
I will do anything
like,
to avoid.
I was like,
Same.
I haven't
Never.
been on Bruin Walk all year because
Yeah.
I hate people.
I
I told
know.
him, and he laughed and he goes, "You're funny." And I was like, "No, I
No,
hate
seriously.
people."
no, seriously, you
He
get
goes-
attacked.
And like as outgoing as I am, I need some peace in between class
Yeah.
because that's
That's what walking
my
time
zen.
is for. It's to be
Yes.
alone with your headphones in,
I
not
know.
paying attention to
Yeah.
anyone.
And then I get so mad if I'm walking by myself and somebody tries to
Sees
stop
me.
and talk to me.
I actually
know.
like that only if I know the person because like I feel like we're catching up because you don't see everyone.
I
during the
usually
school
like
year.
I won't even take my earphones out so they know like, okay, she's just gonna say hi to me and keep walking.
Yeah.
She's not gonna have a
Yeah.
conversation with me.
The earphones are the signal. Oh my God.
All right.
Okay. Did we answer that?
Yes, we
I
did.
think we did.
All different corners of that.
Basically, in some, try and figure out why that's making you anxious. And you just need to get out there and do it. The more you do things alone, the more you'll get used to doing things alone. The more you'll learn to
Yes.
like it, and the more you'll learn to enjoy it.
And love yourself
Yeah.
too.
Right.
Lots of love for
Regardless, yeah.
yourself.
Regardless of the reason you're anxious, the more you do it, the better you're gonna feel.
Yeah, practice
just
makes perfect.
What happens?
And that's just life. You can't go through life alone. I mean, what am I saying? You can't go life
You
without
can.
being.
Yeah, you can, but
what I
that's
was
not
saying.
that's not fun.
You can't go through life like without being alone at some points in time. That's part of being an
Yeah.
adult. You have to do some things by yourself.
that is like to me, that is like the turning point to being an adult
Yeah.
is like being alone.
And that's
Yeah.
when the magical things happen. Like that's when you might meet the love of your life because you're alone.
Yeah.
Or
It's kind of backwards, isn't it?
just don't be in a
It
dark
is.
alley. Okay. So next question. Whose turn is it?
I mean, I can read it.
Okay.
So this one is from Sammy. My best friend is the type of girl that always has to have a boyfriend. I'm the complete opposite. All she does is complain when she doesn't have a boyfriend, and when she does have one, she's totally obsessed with him. She's literally the definition of dependent, and to be honest, it really annoys me. Should I say something to her or just let her be?
Can we,
This is
can
like
we
my
say
life
like the
dilemma.
one word answer to this question? 1, 2, 3. Yes. Am I alone on this?
That was wait, that wasn't a yes or no question.
Should
Should I say something to
something?
her? Just let her
Or
be.
let her be.
Okay.
That was not a
yes.
yes or no
Say
question.
something to her.
Yeah, I mean, I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's your best friend.
There's so
especially.
many girls like this. It's quite annoying.
It's super annoying.
Like-
but honestly, my opinion, the more you call them out on it, the higher the chances that they'll finally see the light and stop depending on a boy to make them happy.
And this kind of goes back to the other thing, like hang out with her. Like
Yeah.
teach her how to date herself, like how to be
Yeah.
comfortable.
Oh my gosh, that's
in
the
her
best
own
thing. Have
skin.
you ever dated yourself? It's so much fun. So much
permanently
fun.
dating
I buy
myself.
myself gifts all the time.
Oh my
I
God.
treat myself.
Send
out
myself flowers.
to- Actually, no.
Actually, no, just kidding. Yeah, no, I would say something for sure, over and over again. I think, I mean, all my friends who always have boyfriends know I like to say this all the time. Like, why do you always need a boyfriend?
Here's the
You
thing.
should take a break.
Yeah, I feel like, okay, when you have a boyfriend, some girls put their emotions in the hands of their boyfriend, right? And so don't make someone else in charge of your emotions. When people get into relationships, they take themselves off the market. And what I mean by that is, okay, so when you're single and you're on the market, right? You're working out, you're eating healthy. Well, a lot of people do this, even when they're not looking for a relationship, but you have like this subconscious desire to have a partner, and so you do all these things to make yourself your best self. But when you get into a relationship, you suddenly depend on the other person to make yourself feel sexy, and you stop doing all those things that make you feel passionate about life, and you just stop being your best self. So for all you people that are like always dating someone, you can't completely take yourself off the market. That's what I'm saying. Does that make sense?
You have to always show yourself self-love. Like, I don't think your actions, like, nothing, you shouldn't be acting differently because you're in a relationship. You know?
No.
You do things self-care wise for you, not for anybody else. And if you're in a relationship, that shouldn't change.
No.
You should still be doing those self-care things for you.
Especially if he's like, no, you don't need to go to the gym. You look fine just the way you are. Well, of course he's going to say that, but don't listen to him. Do it.
For
Go to the
me,
gym.
I think, like, even in my current relationship, my litmus test is always like, okay, are all the choices and all the things that I do in my day-to-day life and like with my free time are like, if we broke up right now, would I be in the same spot?
Yeah.
Or would something drastically change?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, would I have no friends? Like, do I talk to people? Do I work out?
That
do I
is
do
such
stuff?
a big problem. Girls who just ditch all their friends for their boyfriends.
Right.
Oh my God.
I saw that happen with a lot of girls during freshman year. And that's like the critical time to make friends. Because are we really making as much friends as we were in freshman year as we are now? Not really.
No.
Get busy.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own clique
Well, you're
already.
also just like, I mean, you don't see people around. There's like, you know,
Yeah.
because you're not in the dorms and you're not, I don't know. People are just trying to make friends. I mean, I felt like that. I was freshman year. I feel like because I was spending so much time talking to my boyfriend and visiting him on weekends, and that I wasn't really making friends, the friends that I could have. And, you know, it wasn't his fault. It was mine. You know, I was making that choice. And that's like a problem, but still, I was still talking to people. I just wasn't going as far out of my way to meet new people as I could have. But I mean, there's some people who just, you know, those girls or your friends who just drop off the face of the planet when they get a boyfriend.
Exactly.
And there's no time for anybody else but him. That's not cool.
No.
You know,
There's a big difference between like, okay, your time goes, you know, you don't have as many girls night out or you don't see them all the time to you never ever see them.
You're non-existent, because you know what? If you guys ever break up, don't expect those people to be waiting around for
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Your significant other should compliment you and not complete you.
you. Yeah.
Not yet, until you find the one.
Yeah.
And even then, I'm all
Yeah.
for being independent forever.
I know. Well, just like these, like, if you feel like you always need to have a boyfriend, why do you always need to have a boyfriend? Why are you complaining when you don't have a boyfriend?
This
like,
goes back to Cass's question, and maybe she's afraid of being alone, and that's a huge problem.
that's a huge problem. You know what?
Like, do you need external validation from someone
Yeah.
about your life? Like, what are you looking for that a boyfriend has that you don't?
Yeah. Well, and no one is going to be able to love you unless you love yourself first. You know,
Right.
why, if you can't love yourself, by yourself, for yourself, well, how can you expect somebody else to come in and love you completely? You know what I'm
and
saying?
how do you like be the person you want to be and like improve certain areas in your life when you're always with someone? Because
Yeah.
that could stifle that.
No, yeah, totally. If you're not happy with yourself by yourself, what's going to happen when that person leaves, when they drop off the face of the planet? You just, I think at every point in your life, even once you're married, like I'm the type of person who's like, I'm still going to be at a place where if something terrible were to happen, I would still be okay. I would still be me. I'm not going to like sacrifice something.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I think one thing that a lot of people, including myself, work on is not letting someone else be in charge of your emotions.
Yeah, your
because
happiness. Yeah, like you're gonna be with yourself. The only person you're always gonna be with is yourself. So you better fucking love yourself, and you better not need anybody else. Not need to depend on anybody else to feel good, to feel happy. Because every other person in your life, harsh truth, you don't know how long that person's gonna be there. You don't.
No.
So
you are stuck with you.
Never
You make
Jesus.
sure it's
yeah,
happy.
Yeah, never put yourself in a situation where if there's somebody that you can think of that if that person was out of your life, you would just fall apart and not be able to exist. That's a problem.
You need to alter that relationship
Yeah.
and make it more balanced.
I just think that you always come first. You got to be number one for you. And then everybody else comes after. You know what I'm saying?
I think some things that I do to help with that is I have a journal. I like to self-reflect. It helps me to process things throughout my day. And I pray a lot. I get lost in prayer, and that also helps. So
It's like, I mean, yeah, write down. It's like cheesy, but literally write down things you like about yourself. You know, if you're really having trouble figuring out, if you're really feeling dependent on somebody else to validate you, to make you feel good. It's like when people like who was the first person?
Jen.
People who just always fish for compliments. You know those kind of people? They just always like want compliments, and you can tell that's the only thing that makes them feel good about themselves. And if you're not complimenting them, then they're not feeling good about themselves.
I'm the fish, so I always like hand out
yourself.
compliments like candy, but I mean it. I never say a compliment that I don't mean ever.
No,
because I don't compliment ugly outfits because I have. Yeah.
No, that's also something I like. This is like off topic, but I feel really strongly that people should compliment each other more. So when I like something about somebody, I will make sure to say it because why not? Like,
and you never know, that might make someone's entire day. So if you just say something like, "Oh my God, I love your hair," that way, or anything, like,
or even without words, smiling at a stranger. Like one time, I was having a bad day, and this man smiled at me, and it made it all better. Yeah. It put a sunshine in my life. It's the little things.
Well, and I feel like so many people are so bitchy that. Okay,
they're so jealous. Everyone's so jealous.
So go out of their way to not say something.
Exactly.
Have you ever okay, like sometimes I'll do my makeup and I know it looks bitchin' and I'll go out and no one will say anything. And I'm like, fuck, maybe it looks like shit.
No,
I know it looks great. Right?
No, I know it looks great.
But, and so it's like, I know how that makes me feel because that makes me like second guess myself. So that's why I will always make sure to go out of my way if I like something that someone's wearing, if I like their hair, if I like their makeup, or whatever. I will go out of my way to make sure they know because that person, it's gonna make them feel good, and I want that in return too.
And maybe no one else said that, and they look gorgeous and what like say it, just say it
exactly. So compliment people. Moral of the story.
Sideline note.
Okay, should we move on to the next cue?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so this is from Mark. So we got a guy in here. This is good.
Some boy power.
Okay. So my girlfriend and I have been dating for about 6 months, and I'm so sick of how dependent she is on me. She wants us to be together 24/7, and when we're not, she wants to be texting all the time.
Ew. Sorry.
I can tell she gets jealous when I hang out with my friends instead of her, and it makes me feel guilty even though she doesn't outwardly say anything. When we're together and she vents to me about things, I want to be there for her, but nowadays it feels like all she does is cry to me about things and that I'm her therapist instead of her boyfriend. This isn't the first relationship I've had where I felt like this. Why do girls do this? Do you think it's a valid reason to break up?
Okay, this goes back to putting your emotions in the hands of someone else. Okay? Like I was saying before. Okay, girl? Mark, this is a huge problem. If you can't take this,
okay,
this is going to get worse. Like we have the highest emotional capacities. Like it goes into heaven and hell, okay?
What are you saying? I don't even know what you're saying. Okay.
I'm just trying to warn him.
Okay, no. You know? I feel bad for him because I think that he thinks that all girls are like this.
Yeah.
And
honey, we're not.
This question
is
funny because this question is really funny because all three of us in relationships are literally the exact opposite of this. We're all like
almost to a fault.
We're all like, yeah. Like, we'll tell the guy, don't like stop talking to me. Like you're clingy. Like get away. Yeah. So that's why this is really funny. So no, not all girls are like this. A lot are, unfortunately. But a lot of guys are too, honestly. Let's be real. People are.
No, yeah. Just
she needs girlfriends. That's what she needs. Because I realized, I think my mom taught me this. She gives me really good dating advice. But she's always like, guys don't want to hear about your girl problems. Yeah. Gay guys might, but guys don't want to hear about it because they're just pretending to listen. It's kind of true.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Like, I feel like she's probably the kind of girl who dropped all of her friends for him.
Yeah.
And you should encourage her, Mark. You should encourage her. Be like, go have a girls' night. Go hang out. Encourage her to go hang out with her friends.
Yeah. Because it seems like you're her other half, and that's
right. And like when you hang out with your friends, instead of her going out and doing something else, she's sitting at home crying, wishing that you weren't with your friends, which is completely
stop being clingy, girls. Why are you so clingy? I don't like it. It's why.
And do you think this is a valid reason to break up?
Yeah,
I do.
I'd be so annoyed.
She needs to work on herself.
And I mean, I think you should definitely try to talk to her first. I'll just be like, okay, we're done.
Yeah.
And have her be like, what? Why? Tell her like this is an issue.
Yeah.
If this can't get fixed, I'm not like your babysitter.
We should do a segment on how to break up with someone.
Oh, I'm
Because
so
we have
Oh
a
my
really,
God.
I think we're very sweet when we do it.
I'm bad at it.
I think you're biased, Nina. Well, I think we're biased that we're very good at breaking up. That's so funny. No, we can though. But
Let's do
yeah,
it.
no, I mean, I think that if this is an issue that continues, it's a totally valid reason to break up. You're gonna spend the rest of your life with somebody who's always complaining and like making you feel guilty for not being attached to her at the hip? That's ridiculous.
It's funny because like in my past relationships, like I never really came to him for things like this. Like if I had girl drama, and he would always like, he would know something's up and he would always like probe at it and ask and ask and ask.
Yeah.
Because I'm not, always like telling him
Right.
everything. Because I save the time that I'm with my significant other for happiness. Because you don't always want to have this like negative vibes. Like
No.
he's your
Yeah.
happiness. Have fun.
No, and yeah, that's the thing is, as like this girlfriend that he's talking about, why is she dumping just everything on him? Like,
Yeah.
he's your boyfriend. You should be able to talk to him about everything, but that doesn't mean you have to burden him with all the little things throughout your day that annoy you.
There's a
Yeah.
fine line, I
Yeah.
think. Because, like, there's nothing wrong with, like, a really deep emotional talk every now and then.
Yeah.
Like, it's healthy.
Yeah.
But if this is happening, like, every night she has, like, a mental breakdown about something, it's like, okay.
Like, is she calling you and
what is this?
calling you late at night? Like, this is what I ate today. Like, that's
Yeah.
how you
No,
lose a guy.
Yeah, that's like the feeling I'm getting, that she's just complaining and crying about trivial things that don't matter. And that's just such a toxicity
Yeah.
and such a
Yes.
negative relationship.
And that's a character thing, too, on her
Yeah.
part. I
Yeah.
mean, she's clearly insecure. She's clearly, like,
Needy and naggy.
yes, needy and sensitive.
I
and-
wonder if I think sometimes too, girls do this when they're fishing from compliments from their boyfriends. This goes back to complimenting each other. Whether you're the guy or the girl in a relationship, whatever, no matter who you are in a relationship, compliment your significant other.
Yeah, maybe she...
show that person love. Like, if I want, okay, because on the other end of things, Mark could be just kind of not showing anything, and so
Right.
she's
Right.
kind of desperate for him to show some
Right.
kind of
could seem more clingy than
Yeah.
she actually is. Yeah.
yeah. And maybe it's like, it could be as small as if you just said, "Oh, you look so pretty today." Maybe that would just give her some security,
Right.
And she might back off a little bit.
There's a book called The Five Love Languages. It's by Gary Chapman, and it's a really interesting read because it tells you the different ways that people receive love. And here are the 5 ways, and I think your girlfriend is actually words of affirmation. There's also physical touch, receiving gifts, me, quality time, and acts of service. So